It's May, and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, the blues, the census, and antiques galore. Welcome to the May edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. This year's One Book, One Community series has been a non-stop blues fest, literally. Documentaries, discussions, live performances, an entire festival weekend, and finally, a visit with author Chris Thomas King. And of course, the blues through books, audiobooks, ebooks, videos, and music. I couldn't be happier to have the blues. I'm proud to invite you to attend the Baton Rouge Concert Band's Memorial Day concert here at the main library on when else? Memorial Day. We'll start the concert at 7 p.m. You bring your lawn chairs and we'll provide the fans. Other musical performances in May and early June feature the EBR School's Talented Music Spring Concert, the Civic Orchestra of Baton Rouge, and the second Soul Lab Hip Hop Festival. The Baton Rouge Room keeps us in a musical mood as they bring in gospel musician and recording artist Ernie Hines to talk about his life in music. The Edible Book Fest was a riot. The competition really picked up. I Won't Forget, Follow the Jello Brick Road, or Can of Green Labels anytime soon. Our participants are already planning and scheming for next year. I especially love the fact that our creators range from 4 years old to 4. Check out these pictures posted online and maybe you'll get inspired. And speaking of food, Yes We Cannibal Gallery morphed into a conceptual dining venue in April, hosting the Can I Ball Gestalt dining experience. Gallery founders Matt Keel and Liz Lesner will conduct a debrief of this novel culinary experience later in May at the library. Carrying that food theme further, the Special Collections Lecture Series will feature Alexandra Keenan, author of Classic Restaurants of New Orleans. Plus, don't forget the Farmers Market at the main library on Tuesday afternoons. Be Inspired BRCC presents Beauty Was Her Business in May, when Professor Shala Washington shares the legacy of Ophelia DeVore Mitchell. We'll also feature authors in person and online, take care of our gardens, play games, screen films, write creatively with Olivia Claire Friedman and Boo Milton, and welcome you to a host of programs for all ages and interests. It's all in the library's newsletter, The Source, available in print and online.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
Maybe you're already aware that a live event featuring public television's fabulous Antiques Roadshow took place right here in Baton Rouge this month. But what if you weren't one of the lucky ticket holders? Who's going to tell you about all that stuff you have in your attic? It's time to find out more in the digital download.
Kovels is the expert on antiques and collectibles in the US, educating and inspiring collectors for over 6 decades. This online resource includes over 40 books and 25,000 articles, and it's updated with new information weekly. You'll find identification guides, histories, prices, marks, and how-to guides on buying and selling antiques and collectibles. Also included is the current digital version of Kovels on Antiques and Collectibles monthly newsletter and its archives. You can use Kovels to identify, price, and learn about antiques and collectibles. It's a great resource for anyone looking for reliable expert information on buying and selling antiques and collectibles. from the avid collector and dealer to the treasure hunter and downsizer. To access Kovels, you'll need the Libby app. Sign in with your library card and you'll see Kovels in the extra section. Don't forget you can find our other antiques and collectibles resource, Prices for Antiques, in the digital library at ebrpl.com.
There's an expression, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I must be full of treasures since I love old gnarly things. And I love finding out about all the weird and wonderful items passed down through the family, or maybe just picked up at the side of the road. I've used Kovels in print for decades. This online version really makes it easier. And don't forget about the P4 Antiques database. Lots of places to look when you're on your own treasure hunt. Let's shift gears now and go beyond the stacks.
I'm Michelle Edelman. I am the CEO and CSO of Peter Mayer Advertising in New Orleans, and I was also today the keynote speaker at the AAF conference for students in Baton Rouge. We're at the beautiful downtown Baton Rouge Library, and we are having an AAF, Advertising Federation, meeting for all these great students that are trying to learn and be inspired for the next step in their career. Your LinkedIn is going to take a lot of cues from your resume to flesh its skeleton out, and it's going to take a lot of content back and forth from your portfolio site.
AAF BR is a local chapter that represents the American Advertising Federation as a whole, and we come together to bring advertising and marketing professionals in the same space to collaborate, to connect, to be able to learn from each other. Today's conference is for students specifically. It's the LevelUp conference for advertising, marketing, and design professionals, or students as well. An incredible experience today for them to learn from agency people, meet agencies that they want to potentially work at, get feedback, have their resume and portfolios reviewed, and all in all, just get to network and learn from each other.
All SEO is mobile SEO at this point because of the statistics we were talking about earlier, right? 70 to 80% of users are going to be coming through their phone.
We have some excellent students here today that are here in the local region. They're obviously investing their time on a weekend to come and learn from professionals and to get their skills and their materials honed. And I really believe that they'll have a leg up in their career because they took this day.
The library has been incredible to work with. This is the second year, I think, in a row that we've been here for the conference, completely free. They are adapting to our needs at every moment, which has been really, helpful. I've heard from a couple people here how beautiful it is. They've never seen it before because they're not from Baton Rouge, and they've just really enjoyed the space. It's been incredible to have the library be a support for us these last couple of years for the conference.
The library system fills many roles across this community. Helping college students is certainly one of our favorite things to do. We enjoyed hosting the Baton Rouge chapter of the American Advertising Federation and wish all who attended good luck as they embark on their creative careers in public relations and advertising. Stay right there. After the break, Tara Deering joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that preparing children to enter kindergarten is good for us all. That's why we created Press Start, an early learning initiative that provides a free activity booklet every month that explores early literacy skills through play and interaction at home. Get a library card. Sign up for Press Start at ebrpl.com/kids.
You're watching the May edition of the Library Roadshow, everything you need to know about your local library system. Now, May is a funny time in the library. We're wrapping up the school year with our younger patrons and getting ready to push out the summer reading program for all ages of patrons. Tara Deering, Coordinator of Children's Services, joins me now to tell me what's going on during this time of transition. Okay, first off, Tara, let's talk about the school year and our home library pilot project, because we've just finished year 2.
Well, we have had a really wonderful year. We added a 6th school this year, which is great. So we're now working with 6 of our local schools.
So we're going to these 6 schools.
Yes.
Visiting the 3rd grade.
All of the
all
3rd grade.
At once.
3rd grade at all the schools, all at once. We're sharing a story with them. We're talking about literacy. Our Kids Scoop news partners. And then they get a free book.
And they get to pick.
And they get to choose. They
And
get to
it's books
choose.
they actually might want to read.
Yes, they're popular fiction, fun classics, books that they would be interested in.
And different age, different reading levels. It's
Yes.
the right interest level for their age, but the reading levels will vary between
Exactly.
student and student.
Yes.
And some of the books are even in Spanish.
We do. We have both Spanish and English available to the students because some of our schools actually have ESL learners.
Right.
So,
And the goal is to get those books in the home and grow a home library.
exactly.
I remember reading a statistic that said, really to have success, you need 80 books for each child that are appropriate in the home. Well, we can't do that. We're going to at
Yes.
least start with the 10 that they've
Yes.
been given throughout the school year. And the
Yes.
results or the reaction has been so
yes.
wonderful.
The kids love it. And they've even brought comments home from to the schools from their parents from home, saying how much they enjoy having a book to share with the family.
And that's what it's
So,
all about, growing a habit of reading in the
home.
home. Okay, now we also have another year two of an initiative going, Press Start Ready Set Read. And we are now entering May, and the library is going to be brought to you by the letter N.
Yes, by the letter N, and we continue on that journey. When it's all said and done, we're going to have 36 months worth of booklets for this program, and it'll have those 2 to 4 year olds kindergarten ready without spending a dime and just doing regular things they do every day at home.
Now, every branch is definitely participating
Summer
in
reading.
this. So what's on tap for summer reading 2023? I love the theme.
Yes, it's all together now, our lovely logo here. And all together now, our theme is surrounding the idea of community and togetherness, kindness, unity. And so it's a wonderful theme, and we're very happy to support it. And the kids can participate in the summer reading program, and then of course attend lots of fun things in the library as well.
Right. I wish there was a different name for summer reading program, because it's not one program.
No.
It's not a club.
Exactly.
It's a whole summer of engagement.
It is.
And of course, the serious reason behind it all is to stop the summer slide.
Exactly.
To keep those kids engaged and keep the little brain cells moving, so that when they go back to school in August or September, they haven't dropped in their reading level and
Yes.
comprehension level.
Yes.
So we're kicking it off with a big
Yes,
hoo-ha.
we have started doing an annual STEM kickoff.
That's
At
right.
the beginning of summer, and so ours will be on June 1st here at the main library in the plaza. We have lots of folks to come out and support that STEM initiative for the kids.
And it's fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's for the elementary and the teenaged through teen years. And there's lots of fun things for them to come and participate in. Some activities, there's booths to visit, and lots of things to see and
Yeah,
do.
a lot of engagement.
Lots of engagement.
So how do people find out more?
So these lovely calendars right here are available. They will be available at all 14 of our locations. They're also going to be online, accessible through both the links on the kids page and through our events calendar. And of course, the events calendar will have more than just the children's events. It'll have the events for all ages, which is lovely. And then they can always call and ask us any questions they might have about any of the events we'll be hosting.
Thanks, Tara. I'm really looking forward to see how this new theme, All Together Now, plays out across all the age groups. After the break, Ann Harmon Brett. Plus, we have a book review from one of our younger library patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that supporting the education of students is good for us all. That's why we provide access to live, in-person, online tutoring through Homework Louisiana, make available free test preparation tools through Learning Express, plus reference tools for all ages. Get a library card. Get free education at ebrpl.com/homeworkhelp.
Welcome back to the May edition of the Library Roadshow. There's a saying that there's no strength without suffering. And while you never wish hard times on anyone, Rising above the challenge can often be a source of great inspiration. That's true for my next guest. Author Anne Harmon Brett shares a personal challenge in her latest book entitled The Disease: One Man's Journey Through a Life with Leprosy. Anne, how did you get your start as an author?
I always loved reading as a child. In later years, I received my journalism degree from LSU and worked in the tourist industry producing tourist brochures and other literature. I also worked with international travel writers visiting Louisiana and learned a lot about writing from them.
What is this book about?
It's called The Disease: One Man's Journey Through a Life of Leprosy. My father and mother and 5 other members of my immediate family had leprosy and were patients at the National Leprosarium in Carville, Louisiana, near Baton Rouge. The book is a history of Carville, but it is also a love story of how my parents met each other at Carville and fell in love and married. Most of all, I hope this book will give inspiration for anyone going through a difficult time. My father always said everyone has a cross. His cross was leprosy.
What inspired you to write this book?
My father had written his memoirs of his life as a leprosy patient. It was a random collection of his stories from his life. It was a great story, but very difficult to read. I took his notes and edited them into a more readable format. The book also has 30 of his photos and artwork. He was a professional photographer.
What advice would you share with other aspiring authors?
Don't give up. It took me 17 years to finish the book. I hired a professional editor to help me with the book. You must follow your passion. Research self-publishing companies carefully. The first company I hired didn't do the job as promised, and I lost several $1,000s. I researched more book publishing companies and ended up with BookBaby. They were a very professional company, and I would give them a 5-star rating.
How can our viewers learn more about you and this book?
The book is available on Amazon. I also participate in the Louisiana Book Festival and other festivals in the area.
Thanks, Anne. You can find copies of Anne's book in print in the Louisiana Biography section, as well as online through the Libby app. We also have several other fascinating books, audiobooks, and DVDs that detail life at Carville. Ask your librarian to help you locate them. It's now time to check in with one of our younger patrons to find out what they've been reading at the library.
My name's Sam, and I'm 5, and my favorite book is Where's My Baby?
Why is that your favorite picture?
Because it's funny.
Why is it funny?
Because pigs don't look like that. Where is my baby? Where is my baby? Here is my tick. Where is my baby? Here is my piglet. Where is my baby? Here is my duckling. Where is my baby? Here is my kid. Where is my baby? Here is my calf. My mommy and daddy bring me to a library. When I come to a library, my favorite thing is to read books.
Thanks, Sam. It's great to see what the next generation is reading. Stay right there. You're watching the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that access to data is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to data axle reference solutions so you can find employment through job search, gather industry information to guide your business insights, get a library card, get access to data at ebrpl.com/digital library.
You're watching the May edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. April was prime time for our One Book, One Community programming series. Everything had a musical theme in acknowledgement of our one book pick, The Blues, the authentic narrative of my music and culture. We did musical crafts, we welcomed live performers, and we hosted authors like this.
Recording the lives and legacies of Louisiana's greats plays a vital role in preserving the music, history, and culture of our own home state. We're here at the main library at Goodwood to hear about our own music legend. Let's check it out.
Thank you so much, Jessica, and thanks for being here today. I'm John Wirt, and I'm here at the main library for my talk about Huey Piano Smith and the biography of Huey, which was published in 2014 by LSU Press. I've been writing about music for 4 decades, a long time, and I've been writing about music in Louisiana since 1992. So I got here to work for the Advocate newspaper, and it was through working at the Advocate newspaper that I met Huey, who was in Baton Rouge, but he was under the radar. He did not perform. He had not performed in 20 years. So it was amazing to meet him and finally go talk to him. It was kind of like a legend emerging from the mist. So I began working at the Advocate newspaper. I wrote about music and movies. So through the years I heard that Huey was living here in Baton Rouge, but I had no idea where he was or how to reach him. Huey Piano Smith is a rock and roll star from the 1950s. He had hit records on the pop charts, on the R&B charts, the national charts, and his music has been re-recorded endlessly by so many other artists. Bruce Springsteen, Aerosmith, Sonny and Cher, Jerry Lee Lewis. So many people have recorded his songs from the 1950s to right this minute. Music from Louisiana and from New Orleans goes out all over the world, and people love it all over the world. In fact, the Japanese edition of this Huey biography was published last year. So it's just amazing. It's so great, and it comes from this place where we live, and the whole world loves it. On the left there in yellow, highlighted, it's a rock and roll show, a show at the Howard Theater. And the show has Larry Williams, Huey Smith and the Clowns, Bobby Marchand, and Clarence Frogman Henry, and a few others. Libraries are so important, and it helped me become the person I am as far as reading and writing. And I went to the library and read so much in high school, before high school, and it was one of the most rewarding things that I had as a young person. And now, right now, I use the main library here as much as I ever have for years. It's a great institution of such incredible value to the community.
Discover Huey's music and more in our catalog and Freegal. And find more programs like this in our source newsletter every month and at ebrpl.com.
John's presentation was so interesting. He really has the depth and breadth of knowledge about all of these fabulous musicians. I'm happy to hear him talk about whatever performer or musical style he wants to.
Tracing your family's history can be a fascinating and rewarding journey, like your own personal scavenger hunt. Here at the main library at Goodwood, our specialists can show you how to get started. Let's check it out.
You kind of gotta walk before you can run, so this is a good place to start if you haven't done this kind of thing before.
My name is Kay, and I am the research specialist with the East Baton Rouge Parish Library in the Genealogy Department. This is the tech lab at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library, the main branch on Goodwood, and we are going to be teaching a class on the U.S. Census Records covering 1850 to 1940. So in this class, we're going to cover how to use the census to trace the movements of family members throughout the United States every 10 years along the census line.
Basically, the extent of the census, the point of the census was to enumerate the population. So the basics of, how many people live in your house, how old are they, what color, what race are they, whatever, didn't change. But over the years, how they took that information and what they did with it changed significantly. My main job is to help anybody who comes in doing their research, their genealogy research. I help connect them with the resources that they need, whether those be with us or with another group. And then when we do that, we sit down and help them kind of untangle their genealogy and get it all laid out nicely and help them get on the path to doing their own research. Every month, I try to get a new page up when the classes go live with a link that tells you, hey, April's classes are up, time to come sign up for them. We have seen the interest in genealogy climbed significantly in the last few years. It spiked a lot during COVID, and so when people were home, it created a lot of interest in learning. And genealogy is a great place to do that because you can do a lot of it online. It also helps you connect with a lot of people all across the country and around the world. So we have seen a great interest in it from everybody from high school students all the way up to our, wonderful retirees here across the parish coming in to start doing their genealogy research. So we teach these classes every month for that. The first official United States Census was in 1790, but there are a few states that took population censuses before that point. If you are interested in doing your genealogy, you can come visit us here at the main library anytime the library is open. We always have somebody on staff who can help you get started. We are here at the Goodwood Library on the second floor, right behind the reference section. You can also always call us if you need resources at 231-3751, and you can always ask for me. Last year, at the beginning of 2022, the 1950 census was released, but it's a slightly different census from the way that they took censuses prior to that. So I have not included it in this one because it's already a long class. So we have like a little mini session that will be put up on our website that will kind of just cover the 1950 census.
To learn more about getting started with genealogy, check out our website at ebrpl.com or our source newsletter.
With a census, it's never just search one and then you're done. They're constantly adding more information and improving the search functionality. So ask for help. In addition to lots of helpful classes and tips on demand in the Genealogy Info Guide, genealogy librarians are standing by. And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/ebrpl. Do some digging and check out one of your own family treasures on Kovels or P4 Antiques database. Then tell us about it. That's facebook.com/ebrpl. And while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in June? Summer reading, of course. It'll be time to jump into that Beanstack app and start earning badges and prizes for the whole family.
Tune in next month, and I'll take you to another library program near you.
Tune into the show next month, and I'll share another free resource from inside the digital library at ebrpl.com.
On the show next month, I'll share another branch service with you.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow. And remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.